India Alliance meeting is on. Our man on the ground fronting the story for us, of course, is Amit Bharadwaj. Amit, main nahi hum, appears to be something that you're picking up from the ground that could be one of the, the thematic elements of the India Alliance. But there is a lot of work to be done and time is short, as Rajdeep was saying. The picking of a convener, the seat sharing, etc. Are you picking up any indications that there could be a clear blueprint or a roadmap going forward for the alliance?
Shiv, well, I'm inside the Ashoka Hotel where the meeting is going on in the other hall right next to me. And what we are given to understand right now that, the convener post is something that is being pushed by the regional players right now for sure. As Rajdeep was mentioning as well, it works very much in the favor of the regional parties that there should be a convener who is able to communicate and coordinate with the regional parties. Number one. Number two, seat sharing is something that several parties, including the Samana editorial, which has come today, is very indicative of the fact that seat sharing needs to be fixed, that needs to be chalked out today, because after that, there are more critical questions that the India Alliance will have to deal with. Suppose, for instance, as to what is the seat sharing ratio for Bihar, but which seats will you be battling on? Congress, RJD, JDU, all these parties will have to zero down the seats that they want to fight upon and the best candidates that can be fielded from that area. So all those issues needs to be touched upon, and after that comes the complicated question of such as West Bengal, or Kerala, where you have very much the India Alliance partners itself who have been at warring heads in the respective states. For instance, in West Bengal, you have a Trinamool versus Left Congress formula, and in Kerala so far it's LDF, UDF. So all these things needs to be chalked out, and time is less, as Rajdeep was also indicating about. But I had spoken to a specific leader. He said, Shiv, that we do need to do a couple of more meetings to sort out and come to the final decision. So that could be the key takeaway as well.
Okay, a couple more meetings, but once again, the fact that time is short, that the campaign for 2024 kind of has already begun, officially begins sometime around February, March. That's, of course, unless elections are preponed. But Mausami Singh is also joining us. She tracks the Congress party for us. She's also on the front lines of this story. Mausami, the Congress party, right in the wake of, a disappointing performance in the Hindi heartland, appears to have, dwindled their sway or their influence as far as the alliance partners are concerned. But they are still going to be trying to fight off the idea of a regional convener as far as the India Alliance is concerned. How far along are you sensing things could be as far as seat sharing is concerned? Because the perception is that the Congress's bargaining power has come down after these elections.
Absolutely, Shiv, you've hit the nail on the head there, because the bargaining power of the Congress has dwindled a lot. The position that Congress was during the Mumbai meeting, they had to climb down from that, and that really means the magnanimity that was evident in the speeches of Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi, the ability to reach out and compromise and not gun for any post, that has really, taken a beating, because now the alliance partners are putting a big question mark on Congress's selfishness as far as not sharing any seats during the assembly elections is concerned. And my sources tell me even right now in the meeting, the assembly election results are being discussed, particularly the Samajwadi Party and other regional satraps, even the left, could rake up that point that had there been an alliance, things would have been otherwise, and or at least you could have shown some unity, even if not won the elections.
Exactly. I mean, one is actually wondering about that. I'm going to come back to both Amit and Mausami on that precise question. But before that, I just want to, paint a small picture for our viewers about why this story, why this meeting that we're reporting of the India Alliance is being projected as a make or break for India. I've already told you that the first reason is that there are only 4 to 5 weeks really for the 2024 campaign to start. So time is painfully, agonizingly short. Seat sharing formula has not yet been defined, even though there is an expectation that it will happen now. There is no clear leader or prime ministerial face, even though the alliance projects that as one of their strengths. There is no clear common agenda or vision that has been defined just yet. A common blueprint is still elusive. Internal fault lines from parties like the Shiv Sena and the JDU have rocked the boat a little bit right before this meeting. And like Mosami was saying, the Congress's bargaining power, its sway, has come down after the state polls, as a result of which assertive satraps and regional chieftains may hinder unity of the entire alliance bloc. Amit, coming to you, the JDU and the Shiv Sena, had some pretty unkind, hard talk to do as far as the alliance was concerned, saying, a year has been spent doing nothing, useless meetings, we don't even have a convener just yet. A kind of wake-up call, as it were, has been issued by at least two members of this alliance. Has that had any kind of impact? Do you see that rocking the boat, or will it actually catalyze these problems to be fixed now?
Shiv, I'll call them soft punches. Right ahead of the meeting, you had Shiv Sena editorial come Samana editorial, pointing out at several points, including the need for a convener, someone who can take forward the chariot of the India Alliance, and also harping upon the fact that regional satraps need to be accommodated well, and Congress should not be looking at the bigger pie of the cake. And something that has been backed by JDU as well. And that is why what we are also learning from our sources is that during the meeting today, some difference from the past three meetings happened was that there was no opening keynote statement, a broad opening keynote statement. So clearly, it's clear that all the parties are at par now in this particular meeting that is happening. Sources are telling us that the statements are being given, and the issue of MP suspension was also in a way discussed in this particular meeting. So clearly sticking to the point, each party getting their own say in the meeting, no big brother attitude is something what must have been adopted in the meeting. At least that's what the sources are indicating towards.
Okay, very interesting. Mosmi, one final question to you. Within the Congress party, the party still sees itself as a first among equals as far as this alliance is concerned. You did comment on the bargaining power, but the sheer size and spread of the Congress party still means that it has to be the first among equals. It cannot see itself as being on the same level as parties that have regional influence like the Trinamool and the NCP and the others. How is that going to work out now?
Somewhere, Shiv, earlier when this all started, way back in Patna and Bengaluru, the tone of the Congress party was very mellow. It was more giving, it was more reaching out and more humble, and thereby, there was an urgency, an express for need of the alliance, expressed to come together, an intention to come together, and that was evident in what Kharge said or Rahul Gandhi said, and that's very clear. I think they are going to they are going to bend as far as accommodating the alliance partners is concerned. There will be heartburns. Akhilesh Yadav or the others could be a little curt, they could be a little blunt and bold, but that beating Congress will have to take, because one of the leaders told me, yes, we went alone in the election, so it has to be our victory or our defeat, and we will take that if the alliance partners discuss. But seat sharing at the micro level, state-wise, and of course, the action plan for the future is what's on the cards. I think this is more of a icebreaker of sorts in terms of the bad drubbing in the elections, and thereafter, the Congress trying to bridge that gap that happened in the past 3-4 months. Akhilesh Yadav is there. What is important is all the bigwigs are there. Last time we saw many leaders giving it a miss, but all the bigwigs are there. I hope, and one will have to wait and see what the takeaways are, but whether all the leaders stay back for the press conference. We saw Mamta marching out before the press conference last time, and that was when Rahul Gandhi was seated left and right to Sitaram Yechury. So we'll have to wait and see. He's seated on the right of Sitaram Yechury yet again today. We'll have to wait and see whether the leaders are together. together for that press conference.
So it's an opportunity for another signal moment in opposition unity. We'll have to wait for that, and I can guarantee you that Amit and Mausami will be the first to break all the big takeaways that come out of this meeting. India Today's #1 political team, the biggest and fastest on every big story. Thanks, Mausami and Amit, for joining me on this particular update.